Hello, my name is Justin Chung, and I will be talking about the Chaffey School District. Alright. These are the things that I will be talking about: the defining characteristics, the demographics, the trends, the LCAP, their plans, and any changes, the strength and challenges, and any of my recommendations to keep these strengths and address these challenges. So, some characteristics. Well, this is what their school motto is. That's what their main purpose is about: is to provide student learning and ultimately achieve um, the prescribed curriculum that takes place under the influence of our teachers. Right. So, um, basically, their motto is saying that we want to ready our students for the future that it brings with this new kind of technology, and they're making sure that they include the community to improve the students around them. Right? So these are some more characteristics of the school district. It's a high school that goes from ninth to 12th grade. They currently had over 3,000 students in the year 2017 to 2018. It's not a charter school. It's just a typical public high school, and it is a Title I school, which means that they receive extra funding. The school does. The school district does because there is a large concentration. A majority of the students are from low income, so they need that extra supplemental funds to assist in meeting the school's goals because they can't get it from the community currently due to the amount of low income students that come to that school. Right? Look at the demographics. It is mostly Hispanic. Approximately 90% of the school is Hispanic, and 5% is white, and the rest, Asian, American, mixed, black, are, so that's about under 5% is Asian, American, Native American, and black. All right, so these are some changes that have happened in the school district. They've repaired the HVAC systems, they installed new housing, the new roofs, new doors, new floors wherever is needed. They changed the landscape, the quad, um, things of that nature. They also added a new math and science building, so that was nice. About 18 more math classrooms and 12 science lab, which is really nice as a science teacher to have the appropriate equipment to be able to teach science. So that's great for them. These are some financial trends that I guess you could say are financial. They've been inspected, the whole building, the facilities. Had like a C ranking on niche, but seems like they're overall okay when it comes to their cleanliness, electrical, restroom safety. But the structures, as you can see here, are in due need of repair. And Chaffey is a very old school. It used to be Chaffey College before it became a high school. So I'm sure that, it's not like they didn't want their buildings to be repaired, but after they were inspected in the year 2017, it's just noted that the buildings are getting old and probably need to be repaired or updated or some kind of thing for that matter. All right. This is what they pay their teachers, part of the financial trends on what they spend the money on, right? Right. This is how much you get per student, and this is what the administration and the teachers make as well. Right. This is the total revenue that comes in, right, from the federal level, local level, state level, right? And you can see how much money you could say that is given by the federal government per student rather than the state or the local government. So it's very small compared to the local amount. But these are some of the stuff that they spend money on, aka expenditures, right? Saying you see the most is for instructional expenditures. The staff and student support comes next, rather than administration, and then food and other options. Seems like construction's a pretty good amount of that as well. Right? And if we look at the LCAP, right? Well, in case for you guys who don't know what the LACP or the Local Control Accountability Plan is, basically it's this 3-year plan where the school district needs to set these goals to achieve that help the state and local priorities, right? So it's important that every community sets their own goals or their own LCAPs, because what's going on in Ontario is going to be different than what's going on in Upland versus what's going on in Claremont, right? And who's better to know what you need than the local community, right? Like I wouldn't expect someone from Sacramento to tell me like, oh, your Chaffey high school district needs more fountains. I'm like, like that wouldn't be appropriate. So that's why it's the local control accountability plan. So that's what that is. And these are these 5 goals that they have come up with that all students will demonstrate college and career readiness, that they will provide meaningful professional development and research-based strategies and technology implementation to improve classroom instruction and support increases in student achievement, providing a safe and caring campus environment to engage students in schools, providing effective and strong relationships with all the stakeholders, and providing fiscal solvency and transparency for all the stakeholders. So basically, they're just saying we're trying to make a safe school. We're trying to provide our students with the skills and the means to do well after they graduate high school, and that they will communicate with the community and everyone who has a part to say, or like the stakeholders, just being transparent, not trying to hide anything, just like, hey, here's what we got, here's what we need, here's what we're going to do, that kind of thing, which I think is great for that community. Right? They really value the community that is going on when it comes to the LCAP, right? So they try to invite a lot of families to their events and their communities in order to really show that they care about the community and to help out every student that they can. So here are some of the strengths of the district. They have an online school available for those who are unable to join the school district at the moment. It happens to be the 4th largest school district in the state of California and has really good results for being a giant school, right? They're boasting the highest graduation rates in San Bernardino County, and students are routinely accepted into these prestigious colleges across the country, right? It's a giant school, which I think is one of the strengths, just because I've seen schools that are really tiny and crowded. But this used to be a college before it was a high school. And because it's a federal Title I school, they receive extra funding, which is nice to always get that extra funding, but sucks in the sense that, they are low income and they need that extra funding. But despite all that, they have a 88% graduation rate, which is really great to have that. 9 out of 10 students are graduating, meaning 1 out of 10. It's hard to say that they don't fail, but it is what it is. Right, some of the challenges facing this district, I would say, is that it's overcrowded at the moment. They need to make other schools in the area, or high schools at least. They tried doing that with the online, but right now, still it's a bit overcrowded. According to the state test results, they are 27% proficient in math. So currently you could see there is a lack of math proficiency at the Chaffey School District, right? They did have a 67% proficiency in English. I don't know if that is an acceptable amount, but it was definitely higher than the 27%. So it's one reason I did not include that as well. There is a low AP enrollment rate. 15% of the students enroll in AP classes, which is not a lot, right? And that the student to teacher ratio is 1 to 25 or 25 to 1. Depending on which one you say first, while the national average is 17 to 1. So there's a lot more students compared to how many teachers there are. The fact that over 87% are on free or reduced lunch just tells you that, students are struggling financially and they need to provide these kind of things for their students, which will add extra challenges in the future. All right, so my recommendations are to encourage my recommendation to maintain these strengths and address these challenges would be to encourage school identity, making sure that the students feel a part of something right? Rather than they feel like alone and lost. You really need to encourage that they feel like they're a part of the school, right? And the way to do that is to encourage sports and the arts, right? This allows students to express themselves and to show that they can excel in other things, like we mentioned earlier how they weren't so good at math, but they might very be good at other things like sports or arts or something more hands-on, right? Continue having great teachers and continue setting the bar high for these kids is something that we should do, right? Because when we start setting the bar low and lower, like it's not good for the community because then we're basically robbing them of the potential that they could have had if we have these high standards, right? These are my references that I found, and I hope you guys enjoyed that. All right, thank you very much.